Good morning, everybody out in YouTube land. It's another episode of Chop Talk brought to you by your buddy Chopadong and DFSArmy.com, your one-stop shop for everything DFS. Today we are talking Research Station. It is Freebie Friday. Welcome in to test drive the monster that creates the dominating lineups that are taking down MLB by storm. What I'm going to do is walk you through this Research Station, give you a 5 to 10 minute tutorial, send you out into the world to sample the machine and test drive it for yourselves. Hopefully, of course, you check the link in the bottom of the comments section, the dfsarmy.com/ref/3 link, and use code CHOP, C-H-O-P, to trigger that 10% discount, become a VIP for life, because that's obviously the ultimate goal here. So let's dive in, and the first thing I'm going to do, I'll walk you through a lot of these tabs, but the first thing I do is I always go to the starting pitching matchups. And I look very, very simply. This machine can be as sophisticated as you want it to be. If you want to scroll all the way across, Vegas will be updated later, but it'll have Vegas in there. You can use it as a tool. You can use it for bullpen ratings. We can scroll all the way back over here and use it versus splits, versus righties and lefties. How's that pitcher performing? What are his overall stats? I love Sierra. I love looking at who the bad Sierra pitchers are and attacking them with big bats. But I generally will use the DFSA grade. That is a catch-all statistic, shows you the overall strength of the matchup. There's good categories and bad categories, and he who has the most of the good and the least of the bad is going to wind up on top of the pyramid today. And when I look at the opponent and the pitching stats, I love looking at the K percentage numbers, because what those are going to do is start showing me who's in the best spot. So now that I've got it ordered by top to bottom, best to worst, I can see there are 4 pitchers here that I should be really looking at right off the bat. There's a couple of middling guys that are probably GPP type guys, and then there's guys down here to stack against. So that's how you're going to use that page. I'm looking for a 500K score, so that adds up. When I've got DeGrom, I've got a 29.7, a 23.7. That adds up to what? 52.4, 53.4. Call it a 534. Take the decimal point out, and I'm looking for over a 500. There is a 470. There is a 490. That's actually a 500 in Garrett Cole. That's 480. 500 in Trevor Bauer. So I've got 3 500 pitchers or above in the top 3 or the top 5 of my picks, all rated at an 88 or so or above in DFSA grade. Honestly, if I'm going to look for the heaviest Vegas favorite, and that guy's probably going to be my lead pitcher when I get chin music written out here in a little bit. So I'm wanting you to understand how I use this sheet. Yes, I will search down here a little bit more and find this 480, 492 out of Felix Pena, and I'm going to be looking maybe into him a little bit. I can tell, well, total batter's face of 210. That's a pretty small sample size. He probably hadn't been called up all that long. So he might not last that long. He might not get a lot of innings pitched. He might not have a lot of time to accumulate those strikeouts. And then on top of that, he might also be having control issues and struggling with his walks. If I want, I can find all of that in the Research Station just by scrolling over a little bit more to total pitcher stats. Walks per 9. Where's old Felix Pena? 4.3. Did we nail that one or what? You can almost see the stuff coming. Now, when I go into, I like to use the Trends tab as well for bats. I will take this last 7-day WOBA sample. I will filter this out by about 360, 375, somewhere in there on a big slate like today. I went ahead, I clicked this. You can assort by ascending or descending, or you can go right in here to the number filters and go greater than, and I put 375 in there today just for kicks. I really want to deal with only the hot batters over the last week. And I can see Houston came to the top. A little bit of St. Louis, New York, Seattle, Philly. Let's look for a repeat. Not really seeing one, but there is a lot of Houston up there, so Houston's going to be in a good spot today. We can automatically tell that. We can see the DFSA grades once again in reverse, who has the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, who's in the better spots. And we can use these WOBA trends to go from what's the guy hitting on the season, what's he doing over the last 2 weeks, what's he doing over the last week. Is he going up, up, up? If so, he's hot. Is he going up and coming back down? Then maybe we question, is he cooling off? And if he's down, 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 we don't want any piece of him at all. That's how you use that tab. When I look at BVP, I can dig into these numbers a little bit, and I can see who hits what pitchers better than others. Those are obviously buzzwords inside the Army, inside the DFS community, and you can see them on that page. Play with that today. Total batter matchups. You want to see all the batter statistics? Come all the way over here. There's your DFSA grade again. There's your opponent handedness stats. We can come all the way over even more and see the overall batter stats for the last 2 years. We can see versus lefties. We can see versus righties. And you can bust them all the way out to the detail that you want when you're looking at this. Is a one-stop shop for you guys. You can also look at salary comparisons. I didn't do this with pitchers. I might go back and do that. But I do want to show you one more thing. Let's say you want to play the express slate today. You want only the 8 o'clock starts. You click up here on the 8 o'clock start. When it shifts over, you hold the control key down. You click on the 8:15 start. And now you've only got the 8 o'clock and the 8:15 starts. So you've only got these two games. If I wanted to play the later games, I click on one of them. And when it normalizes out, I click again until I turn the other ones blue that I want. And then when it settles in, I've got 3, 4, 5 game slate, whatever that micro slate's going to be later on tonight. And I'm only dealing with the players in that slate. If I want to go even further and only look at first baseman, I can click first base. And it'll sort through all of the first basemen. If I wanted to only do, Fanduel, I click on the catcher as well, turn it blue. And now I've got first baseman and catchers for Fanduel. Go ahead and click it, and then click them both off again. Turn it all white. Again, holding down the control key to do so. And now I'm back to all of the batters that I want to look at on the entire slate. If I only want to focus on the Arizona offense, I can do the exact same thing. Say I only want to look at Arizona and Cleveland and Colorado. I hold the control key down, I turn those guys blue, and bang. Now I've only got Arizona, Cleveland, and Colorado in the bats that I'm looking for. Make sense? Today's batting matchups, that page is brought to you, again, by DFS Army and the Freebie Friday. I didn't mean to say that, but we'll throw that in there anyway. The top 10 page is another neat little page you can go through, and when the Vegas numbers load, you can really slide down here and you can start seeing projected runs, Vegas lines, who's the biggest favorite, hitter park, pitcher park information, best bullpen to attack. But you can play with this page all you want. These, again, are all sortable. If I want to look at only first baseman, I would check the box. I would uncheck all of these. I always throw catchers in there because I play Fanduel. And there's the top 10 rated batters by catcher and first base only. And now I can quickly see their DFSA grade, their prices, their salaries, whatever. Oh, looky there, Brian McCann, if he gets to start today, nice value play. That might get me into some of the pitching. When I go back to the pitching, one thing that I do enjoy doing is looking at price discrepancies. DeGrom is bigger on DK than FanDuel. About the same for Musgrove. A little bigger for Garrett Cole, a good bit bigger for Corbin. So Corbin might be in a good spot today. DK tends to be a little more dynamic with their pricing. That's my tip to you. FanDuel is a little bit slower to react. When they're more or less the same, that's an equal matchup on both sides. But when they've got more of a discrepancy in there, it's telling you DraftKings sees that as a favorable matchup. If you believe they're experts, like you kind of look at Vegas and look for a little bit wiser guy than yourself to guide you, that's one way you can use these guys to guide you. Sometimes you can really find some discrepancies. Doesn't look like there's any in there today. Nick Pivetta may be another one. Doesn't look like there's very many in there today, but some days they really stand out. That's how you put the power of this tool to work for you. In order to really put it to work for you, though, you're going to build some lineups with it. You need to come in and trigger the Domination Station Optimizer. You need to trigger the content, which is free today, but you need to trigger the coaching, which is in our VIP Slack chat forums. And you need to go ahead, invest in yourself, become a better player, jump into the Army. We will hold your hand and guide you through all of these tools, and we will coach you up into becoming a better player when it comes to bankroll management, contest selection, all the things that we don't have the time to talk about in this video today because I've got to run off. I've got kids going to summer camp, and I've got to get out of here and start my day. I'll be back. I'll post chin music. In the meantime, I wanted to get this video out to you and hopefully point you in the right direction to using the tools on Freebie Friday. If you like what we do, help us out. Get out on Twitter and put the hashtag Freebie Friday out there. Spread the word. Get everybody in here. Crash our system. Bog it down. Slow it down so much that we're all on a level playing field. I don't care. All I want to see is the Army succeed and you succeed as a result because I know what this community is capable of doing. I'm Chapadong. This has been Chop Talk. Follow the link in the subscription or the comment section of the tab. Use the coupon code CHOP, C-H-O-P, because friends don't let friends pay retail. And don't forget to use the hashtag Freebie Friday. Take care, guys. Have a good 4th of July. I don't know if I'll see you between now and then. We are out of here.